From a quite small town, Uttarakhand, the queen of the hills, the Nilgiris, to the metropolitan city Bangalore, we have interviewed people from various communities and tribes to see if the people know what is a human right. Do they use it, or moreover, do they feel it? We, the students of MSRUAS 3rd semester BTech Mechanical Section A, have done a project on the census of the human right. Let us see if the human right stands like a wall or does it shatter like glass.
Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, sir. I'm Adrian. Good morning, ma'am. I'm Ashrith in MSRUAS in BTech Mechanical 3rd semester.
I come from Bangalore. Currently studying BTech in MSRUAS. I'm doing in 3rd semester.
Let's start the census with the queen of the hills, the Nilgiris. We interviewed people of different communities like the Todas, the Badagas, the Sindhis, the Tibetans, and many more people. The name Uttarakhand was derived from the tribe of the Todas, which means the one stone tribe, or otherwise known as the Wattakal Mand. These tribes were the original inhabitants of Uttarakhand, and we shall start our census from there. This is a photograph of my classmate Ashrith and me, Adrian, standing with the Toda family.
My name is also Malli. We are a Toda tribe of Nilgiris. Doing little bit of social work among the tribal people of Nilgiris.
Age
Chandran.
Adrian, forest officer. It's my 21st year of my retirement.
Okay, sir. Very nice.
I'm Anita Chandran. I'm a psychotherapist, a counselor. I've been working on various levels of students and people.
And I would like to introduce myself. I'm J.C. Moriani, born and brought up in UG. And I'm running a clothing store and a guest house in UT. But more important, I have 62 years of age. I feel there are a lot of human rights that are being violated.
My name is Kamala Lopez. I teach at Central Day School in Kochi. I've been a teacher for 29 years and it's something that I enjoy.
Now we come to the metropolitan city Bangalore.
My name is Shetty. I'm from Northern Ireland and I'm working in Bangalore.
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Shetty. I'm 27 years old. I'm staying near Public from Bangalore. I'm staying in Bangalore. And my occupation is I'm housewife.
Introduce yourself.
I'm Pradeep from Bangalore. I'm working in the environment as citizen.
I'm Vidya Anjan Gowda. So we belong to Gowda's family and we are the dominators of Karnataka because Kepe Gowda has established Bangalore. So we are the leaders of Karnataka. I am 42.
Now let's hear the opinion of the people on human rights.
Personal opinion of human rights.
Human rights among the tribal people, we think we have everything right. No? So far we brought up like that in Nilgiris. So this is our first place. We are the first people of Nilgiris. So we didn't realize why we need human rights. Already human rights are within us like that, we thought. But time changes, no? So certain things we need human rights because when we follow some different cultures, then it won't be suitable to others.
Yeah.
Then we say, oh, this is our human culture. We need this.
personal.
rights is a movement that is so required. So required at every point of time. In fact, the very fact that it was born is something that kept human race alive.
I think every person who is born on earth, and that is not any question about caste, community, religion, every human has a freedom which God has given. And this freedom is being violated, at least I see in India. Of course, I've been abroad, I've been to Singapore, I've been to Dubai, and I've seen human rights being violated there also. But the amount which I witness in India is amazing. There is absolutely no justice.
Human rights, is it? Human rights is something that every human should have. I think every human being has a right to basic necessities of life. And perhaps in the scramble to succeed, many people are forgetting that every human being has a right to succeed. So that is something that we certainly do need to not just talk about, but do something about.
I think human rights are very important and something we have to take seriously.
About personal, about opinion of my personal is, human rights is a fundamental of being human. Means we have a human rights, means we have to use in perfect way, in a correct way. That is the opinion of my personal opinion of human rights.
So, human rights is very important for humans.
Human rights is applicable to all the people. That too, our country is a democratic country, and human rights is very important in this.
So, when was the time you felt you had human rights, that very right you explained about?
Not really. We didn't because before not many people came here. We didn't know many things of outside. Maybe past 20, 30 years, people are talking about it, and there are some notice boards in the cities.
15. ஏஜ் 15 வந்து நான் வந்து சேர்த்துட்டேன். ஏன்னா ஃபேமிலி வந்து ரொம்ப அப்பயே வந்து நான் வெளியே வந்து வந்தேன். அப்பயே வந்து வீட்டில் வந்து வெளியே வந்தேன். வெளியே வந்தேன் வந்து இதுதான் லைஃப் இப்படி தான் இருக்கும் அப்படிங்கிறது வந்து எனக்கு வந்து அப்போ தான் தெரிஞ்சு. அப்போ வந்து அதே கண்டினியூஸாக பண்ணணும்.
I think from the class or the levels where we've been living, the middle class or the upper middle class, whatever you can like to call it, we did not suffer much because of human rights violations. But we did see people being having to go through a lot of problems because of violations.
I had also had similar things in the younger days, high school days and college days also, before 1947 also.
Okay.
We had no right to get into the first class groups or first class compartments in any of the trains or buses in Ooty and other places. We were not allowed, even if we wanted to pay, we were not allowed to get into the first class compartments.
Okay, I see. And you crossed the age, you were there through the independence era or something, you crossed 1948.
Yes, I'm 99 now, 79 now.
You're 79 now. So regarding that, since you crossed the independence era, tell me how human rights differed, because I am not a person who crossed that era, I'm young. So how was it before and how was it after that era?
Previously, it was people were afraid of the machinery, government machinery. People were afraid of rules and regulations because they were afraid of punishments. But after the independence, everybody thought that they have got all sorts of freedom. So now slowly it is all rebuilding now. The entire point is so everybody feels that they are free. Trouble only now because of that.
There is a good and there is a bad. There is a loss of discipline, thinking that I have the right to do anything. So I think we need to have a balance between the rights and the responsibilities.
True, very true.
People think everybody has got rights, everything, but they don't have the responsibility to do certain things.
I think I have to be very, very frank. When I was 12 years also, I used to see a lot of injustice taking place, even in our families. There was a lot of partiality taking place. We were 3 boys, We were 6 siblings, 3 boys and 3 girls, and our parents were giving a lot of favoritism to the boys. And all my 3 sisters were not getting the amount of love and care which they should deserve just because of the gender. And this was very sad. Even at a young age, like 10 years, 12 years, I used to think this is very unfair as far as our own family is concerned. Now when I have to talk to you about neighbors and what all they do, there was so much injustice there also, even as a youngster.
School they teach you, right? Yeah. They teach you like how to not violate human rights, how you should go for human rights and stuff like that. Yeah, maybe back in school.
Praise God, I've been raised in a Christian environment. I don't think there's ever been a time that I felt that I didn't have a right. Right from when I was a child, I have had the right to education, the right to a home, the right to what else do we have? Speech. Talk about speech, that was something that I remember even as a child. Praise God, we have the right to speak. And praise God, we are in a country where thus far we have been allowed to speak even on what we believe and able to share with our Jesus.
Yes, I think in the UK we've got a lot of human rights. We've got free speech and you can go to school and you can go to hospital, and I think we have a lot in the UK.
When my mind matured, no, that takes when I was in high school. So that time I came to know that this is a human right, about human right I have understood in that age only. My surrounding of people, with talking with them and with mingling with them, then I come to know that it is a time for human rights.
I became the teacher, so I'll be very proud to put my sign on the hall tickets. Okay, so that is teachers' rights.
Do you think that human rights differ among the hierarchy of people?
I don't think so. It depends the way one should feel, no? One right.
Human rights in hierarchy, if you say, when you say people who are so-called in the higher levels of society and all that, they feel that they enjoy rights a lot more because they feel they have the right and they are aware of their rights so much, little more than their rights also they're able to take advantage of all the situations. Whereas in the lowest rungs also do enjoy it because they don't care about the rights or the responsibilities. So they also enjoy that. The so-called middle class, who has to follow all the rules, all the regulations, all the responsibilities, feels the brunt of all the negatives of the working.
Well, in my opinion, if you ask me, the rich think no end of themselves. I would call them, they are not at all fair, they are not at all reasonable to their lower ones. In fact, among relatives also, we were very poor those days. We had a financially we were so down, and other Sindhis, I come from a Sindhi community, they were looking at us as if we were outcast. They were not giving us a treatment, we were not getting invitation for birthdays, and it was very unfair. I was thinking at that moment, we are all human beings, we should have the same love, respect for each other, but just because financially they were very rich, they treated us just like downcast.
Yeah, it should not, but it does, I think, sometimes, in some places. Here, in some things, like in some places. Yes.
In India, I think that may be a bit of a problem. In India, there is no doubting that the rich think that they have more rights to rights, and for hardly ever even understand what their rights are. One thing that I know or I've seen is that God is the great equalizer, and when you come into the family of God, then there is actually hardly ever a question of rights. So perhaps what we need to do is help people to understand it's your relationship with God that enables you to enjoy better rights, because God does not differentiate between poor and rich, right? And when you talk about hierarchy of people, money has a real horrible way of corrupting.
Yeah.
So that is really sad.
I don't think they should, no.
Maybe on the listen to
no, well, they shouldn't, but some places.
And they're talking about the real world.
In the real world? Yes, in practice they do.
Yes, of course. In our country, we have haves and have-nots. So some people are enjoying their rights, and some people they don't know how to enjoy the human rights and how to ask the human rights.
So now, does culture have an influence on human rights?
Suppose some human land, British land, we say only we had something on festival time, Pongal time, many tourist people came, and I told them don't go there because that is sacred area. We have household area and sacred area. They have gone there thinking as a picnic place, and they want to eat food there. That could be non-vegetarian because we are not allowed in that area, non-vegetarian. When I told them don't go there, no, Flora sir, nothing. You just taking care of the buffalo. This is not your land. We got human right to eat food everywhere. Then I said, your human right may be different. Our human right is to protect the nature and protect our family code. That way we fought. And they are drunken people, somehow I managed to chase them out.
Culture Tamil, Hindu, Muslim, எல்லாமே இருக்கு. இப்போ தமிழ்நாட்டில் வந்து எல்லாருமே இருக்கு. தமிழ்நாட்டில் வந்து எல்லா கல்ச்சர் வந்து எல்லாமே இருக்காங்க. அந்த கல்ச்சரில் வந்து நம்ம வந்து எந்த இடத்துல வேலை செய்கிறது, எந்த இடத்துல வேலை செய்கிறது, அதில் வந்து பலகரங்கள் வீதம், இதில் வந்து நம்ம வந்து சண்டையும் போடலாம், சண்டையும் போடலாம். அந்த இடத்துல வந்து நம்ம அட்ஜஸ்ட் பண்ணிக்கலாம். உங்களோட பர்சனலுக்காக வந்து என்னோட பர்சனல் வந்து அதில் வந்து நம்ம ரெண்டு பேருக்கும் அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்டிங் வந்து ஒரு கல்ச்சர் எந்த ஒரு ப்ராப்ளம்
Culture is different. India is from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, it's various cultures.
Yeah, now how does that affect human rights?
According to India, each community has its own culture. In that culture, there are different set of rights and responsibilities for within the culture themselves. But when human rights came in, it kind of infringed upon these locally available cultures, and it brought in a lot of changes. Much of which was not liked by the people who enjoyed the rights, and liked by the people who did not enjoy the rights.
Well, the culture part, see, there are different cultures all over India, and I think it has a lot on human rights. Each culture talks about his own rules that are prevailing in them, traditions. In fact, now I hate traditions. I hate traditions because tradition has the cause of bringing so much disunity among people, and there is castes and communities, and it is not at all appropriate for human rights because they are playing a very unfair game, and traditions is the cause of all bringing in so much religion, and in my opinion religion is the cause of all bloodshed.
Culture, yeah, some cultures like yeah, it's when I've been Tibetan Indian actually. Tibetan but born in India, so I would like to call myself Tibetan Indian. Yeah, Tibetan culture, yeah, there was back Tibet. But now, still it does exist in our community, in culture and community also I can say. Yeah, in our community there's a lot of rights violation. As far as the religion is concerned, yeah.
Does culture have an influence
Alright. Maybe in India?
Can be on the international scale as well.
International scale? I can't speak from outside in the field. But the problem is, only if you've been to some other countries, you have an idea of what exactly is going on over there. Whatever knowledge I have of other countries has come from books.
Okay.
And you have to understand that books influence and prejudice the reader, because it's basically from the author's point of view.
Yeah.
They have to be the author's point of view. So I can only speak from what I have observed within India. And if you look at it, if you talk about, like, say, the village areas or people who have not yet been educated, there can be no doubt that culture does influence rights. It's sad that for many years, women have failed to see the kind of rights. They haven't even been considered human. So let's forget about talking about human rights again. Okay? But it is very encouraging that we see a lot more women out on the political scene now. And sadly some of them are as corrupt as the others. But it is good to see many women coming forward. It's good to see girl children shining on stage, in schools, at the academic level, and I'm thinking that will change. We just need to make sure that the word goes out even to tribal areas and to places that are not as well off, because money does talk.
I guess it can be. Some parts of the world, human rights are more important than others.
Yeah, an example maybe?
You went to North Korea, you want to get human rights there.
Yes, of course, in our family or in our houses, what type of culture we give to our children, that will enhance their future, and that will influence to their future also.
That human rights are better than human values to govern a place?
Human rights is different and human values is different. Human rights means by growing up, we will come to know that rights are like it is like rules only. So we have to follow that. Human rights are, we have to right to do any means right to do that particular good thing only, not a bad thing. And human value means it will come within our within our whatever we have learned and whatever parents have taught, that is human value. It means it doesn't mean that parents have taught us whatever we have seen by environment, that will get that human value within us only. My opinion is human value is good because we help in value. We help every. Someone is in stuck in problem. We help that. That is human value. It is not a human. It is also human right. But someone is, in using of right, they will not help to another. So, for my opinion, is human value is good.
So now, if you were given a chance to do something to influence human rights in the society, what would you do?
Some people, they have awareness about the human rights. Some people, even though they have awareness about the human rights, they don't know how to express their human right and how to make it all right, no? So I would give more awareness among the what they need. Human right varies from people to people, definitely. So according to that, I may do some necessity arrangements, maybe a frequent and meetings or notice board like that, and interior people also, they should know how to.
கண்டிப்பாக இப்போ எல்லாருமே விவசாயம் சுத்தம் இல்லாமல் அந்த விவசாயத்தை நான் என்னால் முடிஞ்ச விவசாயம் எவ்வளோ ஹைட் பண்ணுவேன் என்னால் 10 நாள் எனக்கு இருக்கு 10 நாள் எனக்கு இருக்கு அந்த மாதிரி கொடுத்தாங்கன்னா எனக்கு கண்டிப்பாக மக்களுக்காக பண்ணுற ஐடியா.
Well, I wish somebody elects me as a Prime Minister. If somebody elects me as a Prime Minister, I am sure that I would take the first stance is to implement justice all over India. No corruption. There should be, absolutely fairness in society. Everybody should love one another. Everybody should have a lot of peace. Everybody should have trust one another. And how will this come? when the ruler, if I was the Prime Minister, if they see my behavior, they should follow suit.
How to educate people, like mostly the Tibetan people, how to educate them, how to have their own minds, like not to follow certain people, you know, like one people tell you to do this and everyone follows that. I want to, you know, if I can, which is like hard I think, to educate them and teach them about human rights. They have their own voice, like not to follow these people, so that they can have their own thoughts.
This must be something I'm going to have to edit, because I don't think human rights is what liberates people. I think it's God's word. Yeah, speaks for itself. So definitely I'm speaking from my perspective, and I have seen it. I have seen God's word liberate. Then there's no question of human rights, because God sets you up. He puts you high above all people, and that makes all the difference. I wouldn't speak about it from education, I wouldn't speak about it from job opportunities, I wouldn't speak about it from, you know, having success in life or anything of that sort. I would talk about it from this perspective.
I think we are raising awareness, so where someone doesn't have human rights, try and raise awareness of that. Yeah.
Are you aware about the International Declaration of Human Rights with the UN?
I'm aware of it, I don't know a lot about it.
How is it practiced in the UK?
I don't know the details of it, I just assume that it's implemented.
I would like to go for human rights only, for us human. For example, I give in villages, there is again going on with child marriages. Already Supreme Court has banned that. It is now going to happen after 18 years, the marriage should be happen. But still also somewhere it is going. That should not happen. If I'm having this right, I'll go for this only, for women rights, for totally ban of child marriage.
I try to fight against the corruption.
I'll tell all the people to, first of all, our country is a developing country, and all the people should have the knowledge about the human rights. Okay? If they all the people will become the educators, they will enjoy.
Human rights plays a role in the development of a country.
Development is varies, no? There are many developments are there.
Maybe not a major development, but one.
There are many developments. In the way of human rights development means, in the independence country, we got independence 50 years, more than 50 years. But we should know how human rights will help. So if that way human rights will help us to development, then they will get inner peace among other people. That will be development.
In a big way, we are not struggling because when human rights are given to everybody, all of them have their equal opportunity to perform and to express their best, which is again best for the country.
How does human rights influence the development of one's country?
I think it has to the core idea of the reflex.
Just to go into each one's mind, body, soul. Okay.
Then only it will come up. Otherwise, there is always the difference.
Well, human rights, if it is implemented in a proper way, it can bring in a lot of justice. Otherwise, it is just a total collapse. There should be the rights which are given to the poor or the rich or the middle class, it should be equally shared. And there should be no discrimination whatsoever.
Yeah, it should. The people who run the country, people are all equal. I think the country would be better.
Definitely. You cannot expect somebody to be able to progress if they have not even understood what their rights are. You cannot expect to see progress if a person doesn't know what is their right in society, what is their worth and value in society. I feel that some of these shows that we have nowadays, even those shows are not quite making the focus right. Not just appropriate, but not the focus is not correct. Okay, you're failing to show people that there is something more than just dance or song or what else do we have, or comedy. Okay? Because at the end of the day, when you can no longer dance and you can no longer sing, you can no longer act, you're stuck if you don't have something more. So it is important that we teach children a self-worth, which actually does come from a very good relationship with God.
Yes, I think it does, yes. People can go to school and go to university, help the country to develop.
Does human right depend on money, property, power, or any other form of resource?
Mostly people are fighting the economy. They say sometimes the land problem. Then I have right to fight with this land. And then economically, I don't know.
In the world system, yes, definitely. In the world system, if you don't have money, if you don't have resources, if you don't have the means to go out of there and reach people at the basic level, you're stuck. So you definitely do need resources.
There's one more question popping up in my mind right now. It's about the United Nations. They have this International Declaration of Rights. We think the Declaration of Rights, the idea is really great, but the widespread Declaration of Rights, it's not reached out throughout the country, throughout the world. The idea is, the implementation is not so great. Do you think in India the people are aware about it?
No, because I'm not aware of it. Yeah, what you just told me means to me, it's not something that I'm aware of. So I don't think many people are aware of something.
So how do you think a country like India can work on the awareness programs regarding human rights?
It stems, it's more than just talking on TV. Because very often people who sit in front of the TV have switched off their brain. I don't know if you're aware of it. Seriously, people who sit in front of the TV invariably switch off their brain. They're there only to be entertained. So in which case it has to be a one-on-one kind of thing. From what I have observed, it's very much like a discipleship program. When I speak to one person, I transform one person's life. Okay? When that person goes on and speaks to their circle of influence, I speak to my circle of influence, and you find that spreads information faster than just the media or the newspapers, because you can't feel that the person really cares about you. Whereas when I speak one-on-one, there's a greater chance of conveying information in a more sympathetic.
Can you share one incident where your human right was violated?
People have more of an opportunity. Like I said, there were two examples within our relatives where they did not have the right to attend the funeral of his own father because he had moved out of his community in marriage. So he was not given the right to participate in the...
People should be allowed to have their own legitimate legal rights. They should have it. Nobody should pounce over them, nobody should restrict their activities unless it is otherwise
damaging anyone or unlawful.
They should be allowed to do their own functions separately without any difference.
These are unwritten rules. Infringements on human rights like this. Each community has their own rules. So this human rights, I think, should override all that has in the smaller communities. I think we need to rise above our petty.
I have gone through in my 62 years of age, right from the time I remember, from 10 years, there have been lots of cases where our rights have been violated. But I would like to end up by saying only one last week, or maybe 15 days ago, my electricity meter blew up. So I was really shocked. How can a digital one which they have now planted, whether it is China made or what, I don't know, but so many years we've had a good meter, but now they've replaced it with a digital meter and that exploded. And to imagine the trouble it cost me. I had to call the private electrician, I had to go up to the main electricity board, and there I spoke to the assistant engineer, then the engineer. All that I was demanding is that you replace it. It is your digital which has exploded, but they would not agree. They said you have to buy the new one. So I bought that. But leave alone that 2,000 or 3,000 rupees extra which I spent. But more than the money, when the private fellow came, he said, all your coils and all have to be changed. That cost me another 25 to 30,000 rupees in the coils. And I went up to the electricity board. Then I told them, okay, they have put the meter as 30 rupees. Why has the SMS come 4,400 rupees? I felt it very unfair because we were outstationed. The electricity current should not come up to that amount. So I demanded from the engineer, how can this happen when we were out of station? How can 4,400 come? Then they say, no, we take an average 3 months reading and so 4,400 you have to pay. So I feel it was no justice. I tried my level best in meeting the engineer. I wasted a lot of time, but the damage was done. I have paid it, not out of happiness. I feel my human rights, there's no right. Who do we go? Should I just, regarding this small complaint, should I go meet the collector? So I find nobody is giving, and today also I want to say a lot of violations have taken place, but I would just like to close by saying that human rights has to be respected and everyone should be given a freedom where it should not be.
Yeah, I can give you my own example. That in divinity we are not allowed to follow certain God and certain religion, which I think is a violation of human rights. Because if you have your human rights, you can do whatever you want, whatever God you want to follow, whomever you want to worship. Yeah, you can do that. But in our community, no. We have to ban certain God, like ban God shooting, which I am worshipping, which my ancestors has been worshipping for the past 300 years. He has banned that. He is not going to relate. He has banned that openly, saying that this God should not be worshipped. Because of which there are so many problems in our community now. People don't talk to us because of that. There's a lot of discrimination in our community because of this religion ban, which is a right violation.
I think I'm blessed. I can't think of one. I can't think of even one. No, I'm sorry. That's fine.
I can't think of an experience.
Like a right to freedom or maybe a right to speech. Restricted to that.
Yeah. Again, we're very lucky in the UK. We have very good human rights. Maybe around
traveling, maybe something like that.
around Brexit, where Brexit, especially in Northern Ireland, it's going to cause a lot of issues where we may not be able to cross the border as freely as we can now. But generally I haven't experienced anything like that.
Just one more question. You being a foreigner coming in India, how do you feel the human rights differ from your place to this place?
I think maybe some people don't have as many rights in India as they would in the UK.
Okay.
Bank alone. So today only I felt that because I went to the bank, so all the people were on leave because of illness or something. The reason is not applicable for us because we are the customers and they are the serving people. So I went there, then I asked my passbook has to be changed. Then they said no working people are over here, so you come some other day. I said this is not the thing because I left all my work and I am going to the bank means they should attend. Okay. When they are very negligible about my work and all, then I will get angry. All the people will. Okay. Wherever we spend our time, that time should be valuable.
What benefit did your community so far been given by the government so that your community could attain equality and status like all other people?
Earlier we were having pastoral life because only Toda people are here and government has land for us. So we are the people self-sufficient with the nature and everything. Our lifestyle also according to the pastoral life. We don't need much money and all that. So we are self-sufficient, very happy life also. And slowly other people came and government disturbed our pastoral land. Then naturally we have to do some agriculture. When we started doing agriculture, government helped us to assisting loans and economical. They want us to improve our economical status. So we made our house by ourselves, like a temple in the rainbow shape, by bringing the raw materials like wood, bamboo, and so we ourselves made. We are the people making house, everything.
The government provided any manpower for you?
No. The traditional way we have to do ourselves because they don't know how to make the house for us. Then afterwards, when we started educating our people, then we did, and climate also changed, not that much cold. So government helped us to build a house. And
by economy wise or how? Help in the sense?
Economy wise, they helped us to do the agriculture. They gave the loan, and for a better house, they supported us. Gave the loan to build the house. Then they provided so really our economic status improved. But still, because of lack of education, our background, we have to know how to get receive those projects from outside.
நாங்கள் படுகாசு நீலகிரியில் தான் நாங்கள் இருக்கோம். எங்களுக்கு தனித்தனியில் ஆளுங்க கிடையாது. நாங்கள் வந்து சின்னது வந்து நாங்கள் திப்பு சுல்தான் காலத்துல வந்து நாங்கள் நாங்கள் இங்கே இருக்கோம். எங்களுக்கு கம்யூனிட்டி வந்து எங்களுக்கு வந்து கம்மி தான். ஆனால் வந்து எங்களுக்கு வந்து இங்கே இருக்கிற வந்து எல்லாமே வந்து ஃபெசிலிட்டி எல்லாமே வந்து இங்கே வந்து நீலகிரி வந்து எங்களுக்கு நிறைய கிடைக்கும். கண்டிப்பாக கவர்மெண்ட் வந்து கவர்மெண்ட்னால வந்து எங்களுக்கு வந்து எந்த அளவுக்கு சலுகை வந்து அந்தளவுக்கு வந்து இது வரைக்கும் வந்து எங்களுக்கு கிடைக்கல. சலுகை வந்து எங்களுக்கு வந்து கிடைக்கல. ஆனால் இதுக்கப்புறம் பண்ண போகிறாங்கன்னு சொல்கிறாங்க. அது வந்து உறுதியாக கன்ஃபார்மாக சொல்லுங்க. ஆனால் இதுக்கப்புறம் கிடைச்சா வந்து நான் வந்து உண்மையை சொல்கிறேன், ரொம்ப சந்தோஷப்படுறேன்.
At this right time, our CM is belong to some other community and he is not giving any benefit to our community because of the political clashes. But our organization is there, BGS. Okay, so we are getting some sort of benefits from our organization.
Put your hearts together and watch how these children express themselves by acting a mime, expressing their feelings and emotions as they cry to be literate, to be educated, to open their mind, to attain knowledge, waiting and longing to reach that point. We would like to thank our professors of MS Ramya for giving this opportunity, as through this experience we learned that our world as students is so small and there is much more to life than what meets the eye. Thank you.